Okay, so this is like my third video. I'm trying to get the hang of this whole TikTok thing because this is very unfamiliar with me, but to me. So we're on the playground. That's my little one. So I promise you, he exists. There he is. He is just as loud as he want to be. So I had one of the many encounters that I normally have when I take my child out to the playground, and where I try to go to a playground where it won't be busy, full of other families and other children. I'm gonna turn this around. Got to get a wood chip out my shoe. My son is quite loud. He doesn't know how to play with other children. When he was first diagnosed, there would be, let's say, it would be like midday, and there would hardly be any children that he would want to play with because he would be in his own little world. Like when he first got diagnosed, and at the time, it kind of hurt me because I was like, oh my God, like he didn't know how to play appropriate with other children. It's almost as if he didn't even see them, which was kind of like, kind of different, especially compared to my oldest son. Like if I took him to an empty playground like this, I'm gonna show this playground, he would have lit into me because he always wanted to play with other children. My oldest boy. Now my youngest, like I said, this playground would be full of little kids, all ages. He would just do his own thing. And sometimes at like when he was a lot younger, when we first started receiving services, he is so loud. When we first started receiving services, he would do the most dangerous things on the playground, and my heart would literally skip a beat. So it would be something like this. This is maybe like 6 feet off the ground. He would act like he was gonna jump off of this and scare the hell out of me, to the point where I used to ask his occupational therapist at the time. I was like, why does he keep doing that? She was like, girl, if you react, then that's when he does it the most. And then the moment I was doing what she suggested, he stopped doing it. But he did that for like a year. And my heart would always skip a beat, to the point where I had to stop taking my son to the playground. Then there was this one time when he got a lot older. I want to say this was like maybe 3 years ago. And it was in the afternoon on a maybe spring or summer day, and very nice playground I took my son to, and it was quite a few kids out, and it was this little girl. She kept trying to play with my son at the time, and he was playing with children at the time. He was getting a lot better, but then she was very, this little girl, she had to been beside the same age as my son because he was about 6 at the time. And she pissed me off because she was outside with her granddad. And she was like, what's wrong with him? Something must be wrong with him. How can he want to play? And I know that her grandfather heard her. And I was so frustrated. I wanted to cuss the little girl out. I'm going to be honest. I wanted to. I really wanted to. But at the same time, I felt like her grandfather should have told her to not do that, because she didn't know, she and he did not know anything about us, didn't know anything about my child at the time. And that hurt me because I feel like as adults, as grown-ups, we need to tell little kids, we need to tell children, we need to tell other people, we are all different. You never know what someone is going through, if they have struggles in certain areas. And with autism, to me, and I'm just my opinion, it can almost be like an invisible disability. You don't know if someone is have a diagnosis of something. He's quite verbal, but like I said in my first video, at the time he had very limited speech in his vocabulary. And the older he becomes and the more he receives speech therapy and all that good stuff, he's unlocking his language, becoming more verbal and all that good stuff. So I'm gracious. So let me get back to why I made this video. So yesterday I took him to the playground. It was later in the day after we had finished our day of learning curriculum and whatnot. It was like around about 1 p.m. The playground, it was 2 other families. So 2 fathers, they was out there with their children. So one father, he was out there with his daughter. His daughter might have been about 12 or 13 months. And then another man, he was outside with his, on the playground with his child. Child might have been 3. So my son was very, very loud. Like he would run around and, go down the slide and try to go back up the slide the way he came down and all that good stuff. Like a slide like this, he would go, once he come down the slide, he would want to go back up, and he was loud with it. And I kept looking at the fathers because they kept trying to like distance themselves from us. And I kept trying to tell my son, I said, you know what, you kind of loud, kind of. Then I thought about it after the fact. I got mad after I left the playground. I was like, why should I have to tell my child to not be loud? Guess what? It's a playground. Children gonna frolic, children gonna play. But it was only myself and my child and the 2 fathers and their children. So it was only 3 families out 1 p.m. on a cold December afternoon on the playground. So next time when I'm out and about, I'm not going to silence my child and not try to accommodate others. Because I can see if we was in a library or in a hospital or an actual quiet space where I and my child need to be mindful, but it's a playground. And I'm just like, okay, so we were out there literally 15 minutes and then these other dads left. Now, granted, I don't know how long they had been out there. Like I said, it was quite cold yesterday afternoon. Like it's cold right now, and it's before noon today. But I just thought about it, and I'm just like, people are so rude, intolerant of other people. You don't know what's going on with a person. Like, yes, baby, come on down the slide. He's right there. He's about to come down the slide. Come on down. Okay, there he goes. Like a little hurricane. I see you. I see you. Yeah. Excuse me. So it just makes me wonder about people, and they act like their life is so picture perfect when everybody situation is not, you know? So be careful on that, okay? All right. So that's all I wanted to say. I just now I just choose to pick playgrounds that's going to be empty, so I don't have to have people have condescending looks and try to go off and do, just I could just tell when they're uncomfortable. And I'm a considerate person, but at the same time, like, my child is entitled to the playground just like your child's entitled to the playground. This is a public park. This is a public playground. I can see if it was like in a subdivision or community or neighborhood, but this is a public park. Like this, look, all of this. This is a public park. Like, this is for everybody. I'm a taxpayer just like they're a taxpayer. And that's all I wanted to say in this particular video. And enjoy my son. Enjoy having a good day on a Friday, start of the weekend. It's blissfully cold out here, but I love cold weather anyway. That's my panda bear. He loves cold weather too. So yes. So thank you again for listening to me rant for my third video, and I appreciate you all. And thank you for the support for my first video that I uploaded yesterday. I'm so pleased. I'm so thankful for the comments and the support and the love and the follows. My little small TikTok is growing every day, so I appreciate you all. Thank you again.